Friends. Hey friends, I'm going to put my jacket on and get down to some serious talk here. It is truly an honor to be with you. I don't choose that word lightly. I'm deeply honored to be standing in this circle today and to be part of this conversation about changing the world the Rotary way. As you heard my introduction, I had the honor of being a Rotary Peace Fellow, an experience that changed my life. Yeah, hear it for the Rotary Peace Fellows, sure. That experience truly did change my life. And you're going to hear more about the Rotary Peace Centers and the Peace Fellows this week. I won't try to walk you through all those details right now, but I do want to share a little bit of my own story. Rotary is in the business of changing lives. I know this to be true because you changed mine. And I've seen your work and your impact up close all over the world. When I applied for the fellowship, I was a full-time professional musician. I was touring all over the world to give concerts with songs that I had written and stories that I had lived. I had also co-founded a nonprofit organization in Guatemala working for education and arts and mentoring, but I did that as a volunteer. My day job was traveling and playing music. And things were going well. I was 18 years into that career, and I was neither rich nor famous, but my van was paid for. I had some really pretty guitars. I had 10 albums out. I had great support from audiences, a full calendar, and I had lots and lots and lots of hair. Just join me in a moment of silence in memory of my hair. Thank you. Yeah. Things were good. And then I quit. At the height of my career, I heard about the Rotary Peace Fellowship. I had studied conflict resolution and mediation in my undergraduate years, and it was clear to me that it was time to make peace work my primary focus again, as counterintuitive as it seemed to interrupt my music career when things were going so well. I applied, and I was thrilled to be accepted. The Rotary Peace Fellowship offers 3 extraordinary tools to Rotary Peace Fellows. The first is a top-notch education. I got to study at the University of Queensland in Australia, in Brisbane, with brilliant academics who are internationally respected. This is my cohort of Peace Fellows in our shared office space there on campus. I also, as a part of the Peace Fellowship program, got to spend 3 months in rural India, in Andhra Pradesh, in Vijayawada and Srikakulam, teaming up with Gandhian social reformers working on sustainable development projects. Through the fellowship, I obtained a master's degree in international studies, peace, and conflict resolution. Now, the second valuable thing that the Peace Fellowship offers to Peace Fellows is the network of Peace Fellows all over the world. There are now over 1,800 of us working for peace on your behalf. Yeah, give yourselves a hand. And beyond that, there's you. What a powerful network, right? There's almost nowhere I can go in the world and not find you there and a warm welcome when I show up. Thank you for that. The third thing is credibility. When people who are familiar with the fellowship hear that I am a Rotary Peace Fellow, they take me seriously, and I'm grateful for that. That's because you've built a really solid program. I didn't come to read my resume here today, but I do feel like I need to tell you a little bit about what I've been up to since the fellowship because you made a really big investment in me. So I want to let you know what the fellowship has led to in my life. When I returned to the U.S., I was hired by the North Carolina Council of Churches as their Peace and Justice Associate. And that job led to many things, including a concert that we put on as an interfaith event where a Christian, a Jew, and a Muslim hit the stage together at the same time to play music that made the case that harmony, where we're singing different notes that are beautiful together, can be even more powerful than unity, where we're all singing the same note. Diversity is a good thing, right? That band, which we call Abraham Jam, went on to perform together in the United States and Canada for 10 years. We made 2 albums together, and just a few months ago, we even had a song heavily featured in a Broadway play. My work as a peace advocate led me to serving on the AFSC Nobel Peace Prize nominating committee, publishing 4 books, one of which has become a textbook in colleges across the US and a couple in Australia, and to create a somewhat viral TEDx talk on how to have large-scale impact, how that really happens as opposed to how we most often tell the story. And Senderos, the nonprofit that my wife and I started on our honeymoon in Guatemala 21 years ago, has also benefited deeply and been enriched by a partnership with Rotary. My studies as a Peace Fellow and my own lived experience have taught me some things about how change happens and how it doesn't. You're going to be hearing quite a lot this next few days about how hero narratives can be quite misleading when it comes to large-scale problems. If you examine world history, I think you will find, as I have, that large-scale positive change is always brought about by movements. Many ordinary people moving in the same direction, doing a little bit each. But we seldom tell movement stories. We prefer to tell hero stories about one extraordinary person who seems to fix the problem, and then we roll the credits. But there is no example I can find in all of history of that actually happening. What I do find is stories of people like you. Rotary is an amazing example of an effective movement whose story needs to be told. You're showing us how it's done. Movements are how we address large-scale problems like, for instance, polio. There is no one heroic figure that is going to eradicate polio. We can only do this together. Parents who agree to having their children take drops of vaccine are making that change. Warring factions that put down their arms in days of tranquility so that vaccinations can be offered to their children. Lives are altered forever because of those decisions. It's spelled out clearly in Rotary's vision statement. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. I want to highlight the word together. Stories matter, friends. Stories guide our understanding of the world and therefore our actions. That means that telling a better story can literally change the world. The question is not, what can I do? The question is, what can we do? Rotary is a powerful movement, and you are a part of it. Over the next 3 days, you're going to hear many stories of collaborative change. But I also want to acknowledge that it's easy to feel powerless in the midst of so many huge problems facing the world today. Friends, we're not powerless. It may simply be that we have misunderstood the shape of our power. The key is not in being an extraordinary individual. It is in joining the people who care about what we care about and working together to make a change. We need to know each other, and we need to learn to love each other, not because our disagreements don't matter, but because they do. And our only hope of finding a way forward together is to develop a relationship that is strong enough to handle the hard conversations. When we remember each other's humanity, we reclaim a little bit of our own, and we create space for healing and for peace to come into the world. This is part of the work that Rotary is doing in the world, and the work that I'm trying to do as a Rotary Peace Fellow on your behalf. In fact, a great deal of the work I'm doing now is being done because you believed in me and offered me this opportunity. Thank you for that. Being a Rotary Peace Fellow has truly changed my life. But I want to be really clear. Thank you. Thank you sincerely. But I want to be really clear about one thing. Changing the lives of Peace Fellows is not the point of the Rotary Peace Fellowship. The point is to change the lives of everyone that Peace Fellows can reach on your behalf. The fellowship is about leveraging change. It's about equipping effective peacemakers to do their work on a new level and strengthening that work to maximize your impact in the world. You'll be hearing quite a lot in the next few days about Rotary Peace Fellows and how you are changing the world through their work. But I keep using that phrase, change the world. Lots of us, I think, hear that phrase and we think, well, that's just a little bit naive. It's a big world. There are a lot of big problems. I want to submit to you that it is just the opposite. It is not naive to think you can change the world. It is naive to think you could possibly be in the world and not change it. Everything you do changes the world, whether you like it or not. And the big changes really are made up of small ones. They really are. So which changes will we make, Rotary? I stepped away from music to give my full attention to my master's degree as a Peace Fellow. But one of the things I discovered through that time was the power of music in the work of peacemaking and healing. So now concerts are again a part of what I do professionally, and I'd like to leave you with a song. When Hurricane Helen hit my hometown in September, I was speaking at a conference in Texas, and it was impossible to get home to my family because the airport and all of the highways to Asheville were damaged and closed. And when I finally did get home, a week later, I jumped in to volunteer, which is what everyone in Western North Carolina was doing at that time. As I moved around the community, I started to shoot a little bit of phone video of people helping each other out. So the images you're about to see in this video were all shot on my phone in the days quickly following Hurricane Helen. There are images of destruction here, but most of it is of people helping. And they were everywhere. The flooding did massive damage, but the river of compassion hit an even higher watermark. And Rotarians were heavily involved in that work. Thank you, friends. I'll leave you with this song. Looking out my Monday window with so few cars driving by it, the main street of this river town is strangely still and quiet. Days flow by so slowly with no rhythm to the song, trying to dodge the boulders as the water rolls along. Back in March, there was a meeting at the VFW. They said we're all in the same boat, but it really isn't true. Some boats have big motors and some have wooden oars. Some folks are in the water trying to swim back to the shore. Our lives hang by a thread, but to weave those threads together, they will make a rope that's strong enough to hold on to each other. If we all will pull a little, well then maybe we'll pull through. And as long as I am here, I will be here for you. There are many who need comfort, there are many mouths to feed. So bring what you can offer and ask for what you need. Let's be gentle with each other, we won't always get it right. You don't have to be a hero, just lean a little toward the light. You don't have to say you're okay, let's just stick to what is true. You don't have to smile and fake it, God knows I'm struggling too. Our lives those threads together, they will make a rope that's strong enough to hold on to each other. If we all will pull a little, well then maybe we'll pull through. And as long as I am here, said as long as I am here, I will be here for you. Thank you all so much. God bless.